Hello students, now the concept which we are going to start, that is comparison with other secular countries. Now we are doing comparison between the Western countries and the Indian countries. If I talk about the Western concept of secularism, then there is mutual exclusion of state and religion. Means the state and religion are both separate affairs. Okay, both religion and state, they must stay away from each other's internal affairs. Okay, so this is the Western concept. They are protecting the values, individual freedom, citizenship rights is being protected in your Western concept. Here also there is separation of your religion from the state, but a state can intervene in various matters. Like untouchability was being followed earlier in India, so state intervenes that it is being banned in India. This social practice violates the fundamental right. Okay, in this we can intervene in the concept. In this, you cannot intervene in the internal affairs of the country. Now, through example, it will be more clear to you. The US Constitution, if I talk about the Western concept, the example is being given. The US Constitution, it prevents the legislature for making laws by respecting the establishment of any religion or prohibition of the free exercise of the religion. It means the legislature cannot declare any religion as the official religion of USA. Means there is no official religion of the USA, the legislature cannot declare. Okay, their internal affairs are being separated from the state. They cannot give preference to particular one religion, and there is complete separation of state and religion. If I talk about the Western concept, the state and religion is being completely separated. You cannot give preference to one particular religion in the Western concept, and you cannot interfere in the affairs of one another. Neither you can interfere in states in the matters of or affairs of one another. That is your Western secularism. If I talk about the Indian secularism, your Indian secularism also follows the concept, but it is different from the concept which is being followed in Europe, USA, and other places, some other places. As I talk about in USA and Europe, there is complete separation of state and religion. In India, you can intervene in the religious matters. Like earlier, untouchability was there. Lower caste Hindus were being discriminated by the upper caste Hindus. This untouchability practice is being banned in India under Article 17. You cannot discriminate anybody, okay, on the basis of their caste, color, sex, or anything, religion. You cannot discriminate anybody. Everyone is equal in the eyes of law. This is the basic fundamental right given to us. Here, state can intervene in the religious matters, but that should be a positive aspect. Here, they are completely separated. They don't intervene in the matters or religious matters, in the religious affairs. So this is the basic difference between Western secularism and Indian secularism. In order to frame the Constitution of India at that time, the conditions of India were very much different. They responded to the challenges also. They need to respond to the challenges also they were facing at that time while our constitution was being drafted. So the secularism concept is being divided into two parts. Okay, they have given the alternative conception of secularism. One is right of religious communities and state power of intervention. Right of religious communities. You know, there are various religious communities that you can see in India because India is a diverse country. Okay, inter-community equality exists among the individuals. There is inter-community equality. We all are equal. Okay, this is because person's freedom and self-respect depends on the status of their community. The person's self-respect and their freedom depends upon the status of their community. Indian constitution has given equal right to all the religious community. If you belong to any religion, equal rights to be given to you also. Either you belong to any particular religion. There is no discrimination on the basis of religion in India. Right, you can having right to establish and maintain any kind of educational institution. You're having full right, you can maintain, you can establish any kind of educational institution. So Indian constitution has given equal right to all the religious communities, and you are having right to establish or maintain any type of educational institution. This freedom of religion is being given under our constitution. It is a fundamental right. This does not mean that an individual is having freedom of religion. It means a community is also having the freedom of religion. So this was right of the religious communities. Means freedom of religion in India means freedom is being given to an individual also about the religion, and to as well as to communities also. They are free to follow any kind of religion. You can profess any kind of religion. You can propagate any kind of religion. Now they are here talking about state power of intervention. So here the state is having power that they can intervene in the religious matters. How? Untouchability deprived individuals' dignity and self-respect. If untouchability being still followed in India, one's dignity, one's self-respect is being deprived, means their right, their fundamental right is being taken away. So here, untouchability, to stop the untouchability practice, sometimes state can intervene in positive matters. State can intervene in the religious affairs of the community, okay, of the religion. So state intervene in the affairs of religious works on any community, okay, if they are following the social evil practices like untouchability, if they are harming the dignity and self-respect of any particular community or religion, then state can intervene. So when state intervene, it is in the positive aspects that it works on the values of freedom and equality. If state intervenes in the religious affairs of any community, they just work on the values that freedom to be given of to every individual who is the citizen of India, okay, because this is our fundamental right, that freedom should be given to us. Freedom of religion, we are free to follow any kind of religion. Nobody can stop us, nobody can discriminate us on any grounds. So that is particular freedom that works on the values of freedom. So when the state intervenes in any religious matters, they are working that freedom to be given to every individuals and the communities. And equality should also be there among all the communities and all the individuals. Equality should be there among all the communities and all the individuals, and freedom should be there among all the communities and all the individuals. Freedom to be given to them. As you know that there is a separation of religion from the state, but state can intervene in the religious matters if they are just want to promote the ideals of liberty, equality and freedom. If state sees that any religious community is dominating the another one, or the state needs to intervene, somebody is discriminated and the basic principles of the democracy is not being followed, then state can intervene. So the basic principle here depends upon which that our constitution has laid down, that liberty to be given to all, freedom and equality to be given to all. This is our basic fundamental right which is being given, that our fundamental right should not be violated in any case. So sometimes state intervenes in the religious affairs, that fundamental right should not be violated in any case. Every individual should be given equal status and equal right. However, if I talk about the violation, if any individual or community, they can move to High Court or Supreme Court. If your right is being fundamental right is being violated, or somebody is taking away from you, then you can approach the High Court or Supreme Court for that. For restoration of your right, you can approach to High Court or Supreme Court. So this was your all chapter about understanding secularism. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.